another light source from the back. Hello. This is week 4 or the end of week 4 of my artist recovery journey, and I can even tell the difference with my tone and how I'm approaching the camera that it's working. So that is interesting. And I never thought, because last time I did it, I was dealing with a lot of stuff and I had to deal with them mentally first before I approach this. This time I can see that it's working, which is very important to note that if you're ever thinking of doing the artist journey and if you're ever encountering this video, make sure your baggage or your load is manageable for this journey. This journey can only do so much. There's a lot of work that, like, this deals with just blocked artists. It doesn't deal with your depression or your anxiety or anything like that, so, or trauma of any sort. So if you're dealing with those, make sure you have at least a grasp on the tools on how to manage those. Not necessarily heal entirely. Nobody can heal fully. Just make sure you can handle these like bigger problems so that this journey can work with the block part. I don't know if I'm making sense. Anyway, okay, week 4. This time, I know I talk a lot about every task I go through. I don't need to go through that in detail. Sometimes it's also private information. But I'm just gonna do the check-in and then talk. I think that's better because every time I make a video and I do check-in and then I watch the video before I post it and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have that, or not necessarily that, but it's like, that's probably a lot of information that nobody needs to know about. Or I didn't get to say things that I wanted to say, but I meant them through what I said. So let's try this time to be more intentional with the check-in. So we have, okay, how many days this week did you do your morning pages? Tantrums often show up as skipping the morning pages. How was the experience for you? I didn't skip the morning pages, but I kind of created a routine where like I go to work, and because my work's chill, I get to like write them in the beginning of work or like right before work or even during my lunch break. So on days when I'm not working, I kind of forget to write the morning pages, and then I remember like halfway through the day and I'm like, oh, maybe I should do that. So mind you, it was Eid, so I was very excited to have my coffee in the morning, and there was nothing that's getting in my way of getting my coffee in the morning. So I did that, and I kind of forgot about everything else in the world. But it wasn't necessarily out of a tantrum, or it wasn't running away from the morning pages. If anything, last week, morning pages, like I said, they were turning into a rant. This week, they were more analytical, like, because I'm doing the reading deprivation, which I will get to. I'm becoming more observant, hence week 2 when she's saying to men to like pay attention to the little details. I have no choice but to, because there's nothing else for me to do. Like, no TV, no social media, no books. What do you mean? Like, I now have to pay attention to my surrounding. I have to pay attention to how I'm feeling, and everything is coming down on the page. It got to the point where I'm just like writing what I'm doing, and it makes me feel present. I'm not even writing about other people anymore because I can talk about myself, and I'm more aware about how I'm feeling and what I'm doing more than what I'm feeling. And then that makes me reflect on what I'm doing, and I'm like, oh, I'm not doing anything. And then the next morning page, I'm like, I did this because I realized that I wasn't doing anything, blah, blah, blah. So that was interesting to see. What else? Did you do your artist day this week? Does your artist get to go more on Rent a Movie? So there was a major snowstorm, so I couldn't go anywhere. That is a day trip. Last time I did the artist way on week 4, I went on like a little day trip, an hour and a half away, and I went to like this little cute art museum in the nearby city, but I can't do that right now. But I didn't mind it. I honestly, like, I know I want to do some sort of a getaway or a retreat or a vacation for myself. So I got started to plan that. That's, to me, that's a good start given the weather. But I did go take myself on a little date to my favorite tea place in town, and I just sat there. I can only read this one, so I read this one. And I did some of the tasks, and it was actually very good. I felt like I'm not rushed. Felt like I had nothing else to do. I didn't want to do anything, although I did have stuff to do. I had nothing, and I wanted to just sit there, and I left when I felt like I'm done, which was all I needed for my artist date. But how it felt, I felt like at home. I felt like I wanted. I've been wanting also to go to the movies alone, but because also of the weather, I couldn't go. Mind you, my partner also wanted to hang out, and because I don't want to resent myself or my partner, I communicated with them that I do eventually want to go to see a movie alone. And then there's this conflict of reading deprivation. Do I watch a movie or not? So I ended up not doing it, but I might do it next week. So, did you experience any synchronicity this week? What was it? I don't know if it's synchronicity, but and I don't know if it's the reading deprivation week, but because I was like there's this habit. I come from work and I go watch TV, or I'm on my phone for at least half an hour, and I can't do that, and I'm aware that I can't do that. So for the beginning of it, I'm just sitting there. Okay. And then I'm like, okay, what was something I wanted to do, but I kept pushing it away because I watched TV? Oh, okay, I'm just gonna do the dishes. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna get my computer and start actually organizing things like I said I wanted to do. Oh, I want to do that puzzle that I've always wanted to do. And then it got to, oh, now I can look for like music opportunities. Weird. Then I was like, I wonder if there are like creative writing workshops nearby. So I looked for that, and then I found a couple. Some of them are costing money, so I put those aside. And then I found some workshops for nonprofit organizations, and then I decided to sign up for one of the workshops for free, just to test it out. But ideally, I feel like I've always wanted to just go on a retreat to write, or go on a retreat to make music, or anything creative, just to be isolated and alone with a bunch of strangers. That looks like the beginning of a horror movie, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna be very careful with where my money goes and what my planning goes. And obviously, as a woman, I need to be extra careful. So all of these, I've started looking into them. But I'm excited for the workshop. It's an online workshop, and I get to like do it on a Sunday morning, which is very cool. Music-wise, I looked at the festivals for the coming spring and summer, and I saw that a lot of them have volunteering opportunities. And although I didn't want to volunteer necessarily because I don't want to work a booth or anything like that, it would be fun, but that's not my main goal. My main goal is to be a technician or doing some sound there. But I made a list, and I'm gonna try to reach out to see. I think it's gonna be so much fun, and it's been in my mind, but it's been clouded by procrastination in using social media or using any screen time of any sort, even reading. And now, because I can't do that, I can't run away from it. I tried to play piano. My piano is kind of broken. There are some keys that need fixing, which made me now look into it and figure out what's the problem and know what to tell the guy who comes to fix it. So, super productive week. I have no idea how I was functioning before because I have so much time. Whoever says they don't have time, they can just stop watching TV for an hour and finish everything that they wanted to finish. I know I'm not gonna be those like hustle guys. No, if you need to rest, you can. Like today, I felt overwhelmed for a minute because I'm making warana, which I'm so excited about for Eid. But I got overwhelmed by the many tasks that required to do that dish. And I needed to do the dishes and the kitchen was a mess, so I kind of like needed a minute, so I put on a show. 10 minutes. And then I calmed down, moved on. That's part of my breaking the reading deprivation week. Barely did it though. So didn't read any book. That was hard. That was very hard. Especially working at a bookstore. That was very difficult. I don't know if this is necessarily synchronicity, but I feel like I'm being led. As cheesy and as creepy as the writing in the book, I feel like I'm being led by someone, by something, because everything I'm doing feels right, feels like I'm told to do something and I'm doing it. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like everything I'm searching online, every contacting, every sign up for a course or a class or anything, any opportunity is done through me, not by me. I don't know how to explain it, but and I don't know if it means anything. I don't know if it's gonna do anything. I'm still, again, slightly a little bit skeptical, but I'm hopeful because I'm watching myself doing something I've dreamt about for a very long time. Something silly as a creative writing course, because I've always been insecure about my English language because it's not my first language, not even my second. So it's very hard to imagine myself writing a novel, but I've always wanted to write a novel. I have an idea for a novel. I have a very solid idea for a novel. I just wasn't brave enough to write it because I read all these books and I'm like, I can never come up with these words, or I can never think of that kind of description. But then I think of writing in Arabic and I'm like, I don't think I'm good enough because the standards to write in Arabic are so much higher and intellectually deeper. And although my generation had proper education in Arabic, I don't know about the later generations, but I don't know, I don't think I've thought of being an author in Arabic either, and I haven't read Arabic in a long time, like an actual novel, because I've been trying to focus on learning other languages to survive abroad. So I'm in this conflict of like, I want to read in Arabic and I want to write in Arabic, but I also want to read in English and I want to write in English. And there's this push and pull of where do I write my novel? Same with the music. I want to make music in Arabic, but I also want to make music in English because that's how I am used to expressing myself. And I don't even know how to write my diary necessarily fully in Arabic or fully in English. It's like a mix of the two. And so I'm trying to allow that to be okay. Like, I can make music that is both. I'm not fully versed with Western music theory and I'm not fully versed of Arab music theory, but I know both, and I want to make something that is a mix of both. And I think that's also something that I have struggled with as an artist, is I've been not able to know how to express myself. I was creating this performative character, and that's what we were told growing up as artists, and now it's you have to be authentic, and I don't know how to do that. And because I speak full Arabic with my family and I'm a totally different person in Arabic too, and then with my friends and my partner I speak English and I'm a different person here too. So I'm trying to find who I am between these two on my own in private. What is Judy? What is she doing? So there's that synchronicity and all. Were there any other issues this week? Not necessarily an issue. I did clean up my closet. Didn't need to do much because most of it I've cleaned up before and I kind of found my style. Like, look at me. This is, who wears that? Which is great. And I think someone told me a couple days ago that I looked like I came out of a Tim Burton movie, which is a great compliment for my style. And that kind of gave me a name to what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to create some sort of a style of myself. I'm trying to find myself through fashion, and I think I kind of did in the last couple months, so we're on the right path. Reading deprivation, my god. I am glad to not continue the reading deprivation, partially just to read books and sometimes watch a good movie or a show, but I'm not gonna go back to how I used to be on my phone all the time or on TV, because I used to like put a show that I've watched before, and I talked about it last week, how I'm like rewatching old shows constantly, not watching something new. And I don't want to do that. I can do that once in a while, but I don't have to do that constantly. I think like I'm gonna be more intentional with what I watch and what I consume as media. So if I'm on my phone, I'm being informed. There's nothing entertaining necessarily on social media. Like if I'm watching a YouTube video, I need to be intentional of why I'm watching it, why I'm looking into that topic to begin with, what I'm gonna get out of it. Same for a TV show, same for movies, same for any social media, which I'm very glad to cut off because nothing good was coming out of it. I think from last time, because last time I did it, I was living in an apartment, and now I have this office that I've turned into my space. So yeah, I made this space my cozy environment. Although I prefer to live in a city, this is still beautiful. Yeah, it's been a very good week. Not only was I proud of how, I don't know how to call it, productive? Let's call it productive. Like I checked a lot of things that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, but I was honestly scared and was honestly trying to run away through watching TV and being on social media and reading. So now when I didn't have any of those, I did those and I baked. I baked a lot. I have too much bread now, but that's a good thing. I'm still got it. I can still bake. Hopefully next week. I started reading a little bit into next week, just to get a head start. It seems pretty hard because I don't know how to let go, and this is going to be a very interesting week to learn to let go and just trust God in the process. Although this is a common thing in Islam and in Arab cultures and growing up, like you have to let it go. Easier said than done, especially living in these days. So yeah, has been a very good week, and hopefully I don't crash out because, you know, it was in highs and lows. All right.